The first lesson of the series IELTS Writing for Task 1 will supply you with some techniques to paraphrase the introduction. I hope they will help you write a perfect introduction for any charts. The golden rule for Task 1. First, not to include opinions for any part of the essay. Second, never put in your opinions about the diagram and the information it contains. Third, if you add your ideas, for example, about why you think certain changes have happened, you will almost certainly get a lower grade. First of all, diagrams with a time period. A typical Task 1 statement looks like this. It tells you the recommended amount of time needed to write the essay, 20 minutes, and that you need to write at least 150 words. It also gives you the Task 1 statement, or introduction sentence, and instructions on writing the main facts. Look at the example, writing Task 1. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The diagram below shows information about student attendance in various schools. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features, and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Analyzing the data, we should look for type of chart, what is being measured, units, categories, years, and time period. We also look for the type of chart, what is being measured, units and categories. However, there is no need of mentioning the year or time period due to no information. It's time for you to analyze the chart on your own. One. What type of chart is it? Line chart. 2. What is being measured? Quarterly revenue. 3. What is the units? Billions dollars. 4. What is the categories? Technology companies. 5. How many years? 3 years. 6. What is the time period? From the first quarter of 2004 to the fourth quarter of 2006. The first technique of paraphrasing the introduction is using synonyms. Look at the original phrase, The diagram below shows information about the quarterly revenue of several technology companies from 2004 to 2006. First, shows information about means, compares and contrasts data on the changes in the amount of. Next, several technology companies can be paraphrased as three different high-tech companies. Watch out, suggesting the names of the three companies are already known to the reader. Finally, 2004 to 2006 can be written as over a 3-year period between 2004 and 2006.
The second technique is rearranging the order of information. Quarterly revenue can be changed into revenue per quarter, or we can use its synonym, that is income. The phrase earned by could be added to the sentence. Here are some tips that you should bear in mind. First, do not write shows that / provides data that or indeed any phrase that include the word that. This suggests you are going to provide information explaining what has happened in the diagram. The introduction only answers the question, what is it? Also, you do not need to include the word below, or a synonym of it, because this would not be true. Remember that you will be writing on the answer sheet, and this has no diagram on it. Notice that 2004 to 2006 is a 3-year period, not a 2-year period. You have the data for the whole of 2004, 2005, and 2006. This makes it 3 years in total. After paraphrasing the terms as mentioned above, we've got a new sentence. The given line chart compares and contrasts data on the changes in the amount of revenue per quarter earned by 3 different high-tech companies over a 3-year period between 2004 and 2006. The third technique is adding category names. We can use the adverb namely and then list out all the categories mentioned. Including can also be used in the same way as namely. A common mistake of adding category names is using for instance, for example, or such as. Try to avoid using these terms when adding category names. Look at the following examples, see which sentences list the items correctly.
Moving on to the diagrams without a time period. It looks like this.
We should use the same techniques as dealing with diagrams with a time period. Shows information should be changed into compares and contrasts data on the differences in sales of. There is no time period, so you cannot write changes in. However, you can write differences between, and 12 cosmetics and toiletries can be converted into 12 types of cosmetic and toiletry products, in billions of US dollars should be written as measured in billions of US dollars. It is advisable to follow the formula for the introduction to describe diagrams. First, the starting words, then, the presentation type, next, the verb, finally, the description. It's time for recap. Verbs for the introduction. Shows. The graph shows the different abilities of. Represents. The data represents the annual holiday destinations of. Depicts. The illustration depicts the natural process of birth. Illustrates. The provided picture illustrates the man-made process of making coffee. Presents. The data presents an overview of the different shopping habits according to the sexes. Gives. The line graph gives information on the Now, practice. Write the introduction for the following diagrams. Have fun.